Good morning. So today you can see the dough has risen overnight quite nicely, and today I'm going to get it ready for baking. This is the last step. So get your flour generously coating your surface, and I'm going to convince the dough to come out, hopefully without sticking too much. And then I'm going to flour the top surface. Be generous with this. I'm going to estimate where I'm cutting this. Sometimes I bake this as a whole thing, and if that's the case, I usually do that in a Dutch oven, but this is the way I bake it most frequently. I'm using my bread knife again to just cut through. Parchment paper, and I do reuse this, so I shape it a little bit just because I have found that really thin ends, if I leave them the way they are when I cut it, those really thin ends have a tendency to burn a little bit because they're so much thinner than the rest of the loaf. And you can get special cutting tools for your bread, but I just use a nice sharp knife. Make a slice down the middle of the bread, or you can do designs, you can do diagonal cuts. I mean, I've done it lots of different ways, but this is the way that I do it most frequently. And then I'm going to let this rise in a bag so it doesn't dry out for a couple hours and then bake it. So this is the last of my labor here, and when I bake it, I'll show you pictures of the bread at the end. So I'm just going to go over a couple of things that are possible here, even though I generally bake these two loaves like this at a time. I just wanted to say you can also make loaves like you would use for a sandwich, and sometimes I bake in this Dutch oven one big round loaf, and I'll do this just like a cake pan. I'll put in some butter or coconut oil and then flour it, and then put the dough right in there and let it rise for 2 hours the same, and then I'll bake it in here with the lid on. But we're going to just go ahead and get the oven ready. So I've got a pan full of water, and the oven is heated to 450. I'm going to put that underneath, and then the bread's been rising for 2 hours in a plastic bag so it doesn't dry out. You can see how those splits have started to open up a bit. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in the oven. And I'm going to set the timer for 20 minutes. And then at that point I'll take the water out and I'll bake it for 15 more minutes, so a total of 35 minutes. Okay, so the bread baked for 20 minutes. I took the water out of the oven. It baked for 15 more minutes. Let's see what we have. So here we are, 2 beautiful loaves. And my last tip is, as much as you might want to cut into this right now, give it 10 or 15 minutes of rest time before you sample your first loaves. Well, thanks to my wife Anna, she suggests that I do one more short video, and that is cutting the bread and showing you what they call the crumb, the inside of the bread, so you can see what you're going to be making with this technique. Nice crispy crust, beautiful even texture on the inside, and guaranteed delicious flavor. Still a little steam coming off. Tender inside, nice crunchy crust. All right.